Okay, so hello class. Hello. Ready na ba kayo? Okay, so good morning class. So first of all, let us start our class with our prayer. So who's the president of the class? Hello. Christine. Narinig niyo ako?
Yes po.
Okay. Sige. Sino president niyo? Who's the president of the class?
Starling.
Sino?
Parang hindi pa
Hello.
po nakain. Hindi pa po yata nakain.
Hello, Teka lang. Wait lang ah. Sige, Christine, ikaw na lang mag-lead ng prayer. Okay
Hello
lang?
po. Ako po. Catherine po. Yan kami. Ano? Hello. Hello po.
Okay.
Rinig po ba ako? Hello? Hello?
Okay, so you may start, Christine.
Hello po. Rinig po ba? Hello? Hello po? Hello?
Yes po, naririnig ka.
Naglalak earphone. Ayun po, ito pong prayer, ma'am, yung susundin ko po.
Yes po.
Ayan po. Sige po, let's pray po. Let's bow our heads into the presence of our Lord. Yes, so God of grace, we open our hearts, minds, and souls to worship you. Thank you that today we dwell in your kingdom and live in your presence. Thank you that as we gather together, we join with all Christians across the world to glorify your holy name. Come be with us, inspire us, and lead us in our time together. We ask all this in the beautiful name of Jesus. Amen.
So, thank you, Miss Christine. So, okay guys, so did you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes po.
Okay, so can you open your camera so I can see your beautiful and handsome faces? Please? Saglit lang. Yan. Yan, para makita kayong gaganda niyong mukha. Okay. So again, good morning class. So first of all, let me introduce myself to you guys. So my name is uh, Shai Pingol and you can just call me Ma'am Shai and I am your teacher for today. So nice to see you guys. Hello. Okay, so by the way, before we start, let me remind you guys now we will have a short quiz after the discussion. So you should listen carefully, and everyone who answered the recitation will have plus points or can be exempted from our quiz today. So the secretary, sino yung secretary niyo?
Ako po, ma'am.
Sino? Okay, si Christine. So Christine, please list your classmate who answered the recitation so I know who will have a plus point or who will be exempted from the quiz later, okay?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, so thank you, Christine. So now let's have a short review about your past lesson. Who would like to remind us, everyone? Hello?
Hello po, ma'am.
Hello? Hello?
Hello po.
Miss? Okay.
Ma'am, about po sa methods presenting art po.
Okay, so what is all about?
Ma'am, dun po nakalagay yung mga different methods po sa pagpapresent ng art. Yung mga realism, surrealism, mga ganun po.
Okay, so very good, Miss. What your first name?
Aubrey po.
Very good, Aubrey. And who else? Anyone? Anyone? Nagustong i-remind sa atin yung lesson last week? Wala na? Okay, so very good, Miss Aubrey. So now I am going to show you some artworks of random artists. Okay. So what have you noticed in this first set of picture? Anyone?
Created by lines.
Yes, very good. Oh, sinto. Mr. Timothy. Very good. So, the first picture is drawing using only lines. So, how about this second set of pictures? Anyone?
Ma'am, using by shape po
Okay. Okay,
and
Stephanie.
colors.
Okay, so very good, Stephanie. So the second picture is an art consisting of shapes and colors. So the artwork I've showed you guys are drawing consisting of lines, shapes, colors, but there is more than that. So it is also consisting from a form, value, space, texture, and many more. So based on what I said, so who can guess the lesson for today? You can guess. Okay. Okay, so our lesson for today is all about the elements and principles of art. So in here, we will be discussing the different kind of art, which is the visual arts, the auditory arts, the literary arts, and then the combined art. So first of all, we have to identify the category under the art, of course. So that we will know where this kind of arts part falls. So uh, we have the four kinds of art that we are describing here. So first one is visual art and space art. So what is it? What what is it? So this is divided into two category, which is two-dimensional and three-dimensional arts. So okay, so we have the two-dimensional art. So what is this? So please read. Anyone? Read lang.
Ma'am, ako na po.
Sige, Miss Stephanie.
Two-dimensional art is a kind of art that possesses the dimension of height and width but does not possess depth.
Okay, yes. So thank you, Miss Stephanie. So it is defined as the dimension of height, and width, but does not possess depth. So they only two dimension. So that's why it's called two-dimensional art. So example of these are okay. So First one is paintings, drawings, photographies, prints. So this means it does not have any depth at that. So you can just eventually see it. You can be do it, and the height, but there's no depth. Okay. So do you understand?
Okay po,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Opo,
Yes
ma'am.
po, ma'am.
Okay, so very good. So now let's move to uh, the three-dimensional art. So who wants to read? Anyone?
Ako na lang po, ma'am.
Okay, Miss Pamela, go ahead.
Three-dimensional art, on the other hand, occupies three dimensions: height, width, and depth.
Okay, so very good. Thank you, Miss Pamela. So three-dimensional art have three dimensions. So the height, the width, and depth. So we have the example of three-dimensional. The first one is sculpture. Second one is environmental art, and some craft and folk art, and then any kind of mixed media art. So they have three-dimensional art in some agricultural as well, because there are three dimensions. Okay, so let's move to the second category, which is the auditory or time arts. So the auditory or time arts it is the type of art that actually consider the elements of time. So it is appreciated to the elements sorry, it is appreciated to the element of time, and a very example of for this is we have music, uh, a poetry, yes, the spoken word poetry. So because there are elements of time for it, so that they can fully appreciated. So next, we have the literary arts. So the literary arts, the third of the first category. So literary arts would actually fall into their actually there is no classification at that. So okay, so it is just some other combined arts, because literary arts issue is usually combined, but then again just recently it just separated to be independent form of arts. So we have example of the literary art. We have the uh, creative writing, even blogging, and poetry, and and so on. So are actually falls in the category of literary art. So if you are into the type of art, then you are very good in the use of its medium, which is the word. Okay. So now number four is combined art. So another general elements of art is combined arts. So this is a combination of the different forms like visual arts and literary arts, and or the visual art, and then the auditory. So we will get to discuss each of this later on in the content of this lesson. So actually the discussion that we will have today is focused on visual art, especially on the elements and principles. So, but before we go in specific parts, so let's go into the elements of arts. Okay. Okay. So there are seven elements of art. Of course, we have first the line. So who wants to read?
Ako na lang
Ako
po,
na
ma'am.
lang.
Okay. Sinos? Okay. So Miss Santos.
Uh,
So
Lines. They are used to control eye movement, delineate shapes, and indicate texture, whether it is rough, smooth, or with volume.
okay, so thank you, Miss Santos. So as you know, lines are very important on creating an artwork. So, any idea why? No.
Yes po, ma'am. Kasi po mostly po, lahat po ng arts may line.
Ah, yes. Yes, very good. Lahat ng lines ay lahat ng art may lines. Okay. So, anyone who else?
Ako po, ma'am.
Okay. Miss Moana.
Kasi po, through lines, meron pong, pwede po tayong makapag, buo po or create po ng different figures. Yun po.
Okay, yes. So very good. So all of your answer are correct. So, if we definitely tell you it, it will definitely indicate something. So, whether it is kind of raw, if it is smooth, the lines are perfect. Okay, so there are four basic types of lines. So we have the horizontal, the vertical, and then diagonal, and then we have the curve. But when it is just a curve, it is called curve. But when if it is has a pattern like this on your screen, it is called curvilinear. Okay, do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, so thank you for your response. So the second
Yes po.
second one is okay. So shapes. So please read.
Mama ko na lang po.
Okay, so okay, Micaela. Okay,
Yes po.
Micaela. Go
Shape.
ahead.
It is a two-dimensional figure enclosed by a line.
Okay, so yon. So we know the different kinds of shapes like uh, uh, circle, like a rectangle, heart, and so on. So so it has to be close to create a shape. So now there are two types of shape. So what is it? The first one is geometric shape, and the second one is organic shape. So please read the geometric shape. Anyone?
Ako na lang po.
Okay, so Miss Moana, go ahead.
Geometric shape are precise that look as if they were made with a ruler or other drawing tools.
Okay, so it is obviously to the word indicated, made with a ruler. So if we have the rectangle, the triangle, so they square because they are precise. Okay, so you call this geometric shape or inorganic shape. So like this example on this picture. So these are the example of geometric shape. Okay, then organic shape. So who wants to read?
Mama ko na lang po.
Okay, so Miss Rachel Ann.
Organic shapes are not regular or even. Their outlines curve to make free-form shapes.
Okay, so thank you, Miss Rachel Ann. So, example with this is the shape of uh, snail, the corals, the leaves. They do not have a certain geometry, so they are organic. Okay, so now and then okay, so look at this example picture on your screen. They are the example of organic shape. So now, let's move to, okay. So now it is this figure. As you can see, it is in the screen. It's actually made up of multiple shapes. So what shape can you find? Anyone?
Square.
Okay. Miss Santos. Okay, so square. Uh, what else?
Rectangle.
Circle.
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 Okay. Okay, so all right. So very good. So let's review the shapes. Okay. Okay, so here with this picture alone, you can find a lot of shapes. Okay, so there are triangles like sino ba nagsabi na?
Oh,
Okay, so okay si
ano sabi?
Jasmine like
Kunin mo na nga
circles.
yung
We have
papalitan ko na yan.
Okay. Okay. So we have the square. So this is just in one pictures, and it is just enlighten the other as well. Okay. Okay. So let's move to form. So who wants to read?
Ako na lang po, ma'am.
Okay, Miss Julie.
Form. It describes the structure of shape and object from the different perspective. Form is considered three-dimensional, showing height, width, and depth.
Okay, so very good. So it refers on object that are three dimensional or 3D. Okay, so that's have length, width, and height. So just like shapes, form can either be geometric or organic. Oh, in uh, what what did you call this? In drawing, the objective is to create the illusions of form. We can create the illusion of form by understanding on how light reacts on objects. Okay. So another elements of art we have the space. So please read. Anyone?
Hello, ma'am.
Okay. So Miss Aubrey.
Okay. Space
Uh,
are areas that surround the objects in a painting. They could be found in between, around, above, and or below objects. Space could be open or closed and positive or negative.
okay. Ito pa.
Space is important in painting, yet many have overlooked creating the appropriate space, which eventually result in crowded, flat, and floating appearance. There are 6 ways to create illusions of space in painting or drawing or in any two-dimensional surface.
Okay. So now, thank you, Miss Aubrey. Aubrey ba? Tama.
Yes po,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, so now in this discussion in space is focusing on two-dimensional surface of or it is focusing on two-dimensional surface of art. So let's discover the different use of space in art. So we have the first, the overlapping. Okay, please read. Anyone?
Ano lang po, ma'am.
Okay, so Miss Julie. Miss Julie, go ahead. Okay.
Overlapping. This occurs when objects block other objects behind them.
Okay, so in this look at this image. Okay, so in this image, uh, you can see red overlap color blue. So it is used for a certain purpose. Okay, so we also have a placement on paper. So how it is placed so. So please read. Anyone?
Ako na lang po.
Okay, sige. Moana.
Placement on paper. Objects are arranged higher in the picture or actually appears farther than those placed lower.
Okay, so thank you, Miss Moana and Miss Julie. Okay, so it is look farther than the uh it is looks farther the one that appears higher. So these are techniques, by the way, that we can create a beautiful works of art. So beautiful paintings and drawings later on. So now another is the size. So please read.
Ma'am, ako na lang po.
Okay, so Miss Stephanie.
Size. To achieve the effect of farther images, object must be smaller.
Okay, so thank you, Miss Stephanie. So like the farther image object, then the object must appear smaller. Then then the object must when they are farther, look at this picture. Okay, at the screen. So the uh the okay So the farther image looks must appear smaller. So when they are farther uh, and larger if they are nearer. So just like the example of this screen. Okay. So do you understand?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
okay. So
Yes.
okay. So thank you. So as well now as well as the details. So please read.
Ma'am,
Okay. So training.
details. Nearer objects need more details, farther objects need lesser.
Okay. So um thank you, Miss Senilin. So when the nearer objects, the clearer. So the clearer the details. So but the farther the objects, the lesser the details are. So you can see on this picture, the word stop is clear when it is near. Then habang palayo ng palayo, it becomes blurred. And when it is the farther, it is actually other unclear enough. Okay. So next, we have the color and value. So please read.
Ako na lang po, ma'am.
Okay, so Miss McKenna.
Color and value. Far objects should have cooler or brighter color values, while closer objects must take warmer or darker color values.
Okay, so thank you, Miss Michaela. So it is the principle, the general principle, but then again in creativity, there is that freedom that you can explore. So it is depending on the artistic expression that you would like to evoke in your art of work. Okay, so look at this example on this picture. Okay, so wait. Okay, so the nearer objects, the darker the color, and then the farther objects, the lighter the color. So, nagkakaroon siya ng illusion na papalayo siya. Okay? So, next, the perspective. Okay, please
Ma'am, ako na
read.
lang po.
Okay, go ahead.
Linear perspective is a method that creates the illusion of space and dimension on flat surface.
Okay, so thank you, Miss Diaz. So, if you see this picture, okay, look at the linear perspective. 'Di ba? It is goes farther. It has a perspective in creating illusion. Okay, so it is the same true with the previous example, yung my word na stop. Okay. There's that perspective when it's near, it is bigger. And then when it goes farther, it's smaller. So it's create that illusion. Okay, so do you understand?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so thank you. So next we have the color. Okay, so this is the elements of art, the color. So please read,
Ako na lang po, ma'am.
Miss Gersha.
It is it is one of the most important elements of art because of its aesthetic nature. It inspires more emotions and feelings.
Okay, so thank you, Miss Gersha. So you may say that it's just nothing more, but don't you know the appreciation of the art actually has a bigger emphasis of the elements of the color. So yes, it is a part of reality, and I'm telling you further. So now there are different kinds of color, but we have to consider where its color are coming from. Okay, so in reality there are only three colors. So it is called primary color because all other color, even the 64 colors in your Crayola or any kind of coloring materials are came from the primary colors. So or the combination of three primary colors. So now we have okay. So we have the red, the blue, and yellow. So these are the primary color. So these are the primary color: the red, the blue, the and yellow. So now, when you combine the red and blue, you form what?
Violet.
Okay, so
Violet.
Violet.
good, Mr. Timothy and Miss Gray. So very good. So you form violet. So when you combine the yellow and blue, you form what?
Green.
Okay,
Green.
so
Green.
okay, so
Green.
good. So very good. So you form green. And how about the red and yellow?
Orange.
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 Okay. Okay, so when you mix the very good, all of you are very good. So when you mix the three primary color, you form you you form the secondary color, which is the what? The orange. What? Orange.
Violet, green.
Okay, so very good, Miss Annalyn. So when the secondary color, when you mix the secondary color and the primary color, you form what? Oh, example, when you mix the yellow and orange, you form what?
Yellow orange.
Yellow.
Okay. Okay, so you form what? You form the yellow orange. So that's what you call the tertiary color.
Tertiary colors.
Okay, so when you combine the primary color and the secondary color, you form the tertiary color, and that's is the uh, red orange. Like what? Sino yun? Sino yung sumagot kanina? Okay, so okay. Then next, okay, understand na to? Na,
Opo.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
okay, now so let's proceed. Okay, so uh this is a color wheel, and there are direction here on what the primary, what are the secondary colors, and what are the tertiary colors. So with this color, there are also have consideration, there also have a specific consideration. So we have to consider the type of colors that are cool colors. If you want your house to be cool, or to be or to have the kind of coolness, then you have to choose these types of colors. So like uh, blues, the greens, and the purples. But if you want a warmer type of color, we have the red, the orange, and yellow. So but then again, there are a lot to learn about the colors. But let's go continue with the next part of elements, which is the value. Okay, so please read. Who wants to read?
Ako na lang po, ma'am.
Okay, so Miss Pamela.
Value. Value is the lightness and darkness of a color. It is used to help show the differences of image from light to dark or dark to light. Value also gives depth, distance, and rhythm in composition. It helps show contrast, harmony, balance, repetition, dominance, gradation, and unity in painting.
Okay, so thank you, Miss Pamela Grace. So the value is necessary. Okay, so if you will do your CP cell phone, there is the camera editor. You could see a part where there are tone will be edited. If you have a tone to be warmer, then set it in the warmer, or either the tone will be reddish or yellowish. So but if you want to be cool color, then there is the tone of blue, so there is have an adjustment. So in short, value is important in setting up the depth, the distance, and the composition in general. Okay, so there are five tonal value to take note, the to take note. So okay, so first is highlight, the mid-tone, the core shadow, and then the reflected highlight, and cast shadow. Okay. So clear na sa inyo dito sa sa value.
Yes po.
Okay.
Yes po,
So
ma'am.
Yes po.
good to hear that. Next, another element is we have texture. Okay, so please read.
Ma'am.
Okay, so Miss Catherine.
Ayan. It refers to feel or tactile of the surface of an object, whether it is rough, smooth, rigid, furry, or silky.
Okay, so thank you, Miss Catherine. So, when it touch the with your hands, so it is soft. Try nyo hawakan yung kamay nyo. On, so what did you feel? So you feel the texture, di ba? So even your face, kapag ginahawakan nyo siya, you feel the texture. So whether your clothes, it is a part of texture. You can feel the texture in that. So that's what you determine the texture. Okay, so there are three kinds of texture. Okay, so what are they? Okay, so we have the textile texture, the artificial texture, and then the visual texture. So please read the textile texture.
Ako na lang po, ma'am.
Okay, so Miss Alona.
Textile textures. These are textures that can be touched and or felt.
Okay, so textile texture is the one that I give you an example. The one you feel it. Okay. So number two is artificial texture. Please read.
Ma'am,
Okay, so Miss pangalan?
Razel
Okay,
po.
so Miss Razel.
Are man-made surface quality that are supposed to look and feel like the original material.
Okay, so look at this example. It's look like a real abaka ba tawag doon? So it's look like the real abaka, but it is made from plastic. It is man-made. Okay? So another example is a turf. So if you are familiar with a turf is like a fake grass. Actually, it is a fake. It is a fake grass on soccer field or in a football field. So it's look and feel like an original grass, but is man-made. So it does an artificial texture. So next we have the visual texture. So please read. Okay. So anyone?
Ma'am, ako na lang po.
Ako na lang
Okay.
po.
So
Visual textures are texture evoked by photography or picture depicting an object.
Okay, so the visual texture, it is just observed through vision. So look at this image. So what you can see about this image? What have you noticed about this image? Anyone? Hello? Anyone? Okay, so this image, it looks like raw, di ba? May texture siya once natignan mo siya, makikita mo na agad yung texture. Okay. So next, let's move to the principles of art. Okay. So we have first the contrast. So please read. Anyone?
Ako na lang.
Okay. So Moana.
Contrast. This refers to the value of contrast in a work of art. Three: high contrast and low contrast. High contrast refers to a great difference between colors or elements, and low contrast refers to a slight difference between colors or elements.
Okay. So very okay. Thank you, Miss Moana. So, if you can see in this example, the figure in your right, this one, nakikita nyo ba? Hello?
Yes po.
Okay, so if you can see in this example, which is the one in the blue and the other figure on it, the contrast is very obvious. So there is a high contrast because of remember like what I said earlier, blue is a cool color and yellow is a kind of warm color. So it is actually contrasting when it comes from uh, okay, so it is high contrast. So this image by Pollack shows high contrast in color and symmetry. Okay, so let's go into another image. Ito, yung nasa baba. Okay, nakikita nyo?
Yes po.
Okay, so look at the color. It does not very far of the background color or in actual color. Even if the line that creates it, it's actually close in background color. So there's no contrast, 'di ba? Nakikita niyo yung difference? Hello.
Opo.
Yes po.
Po, ma'am.
Okay. So now we have the unity. So please read.
Ako na lang po, ma'am.
So is Grace.
Unity is the arrangement of elements to create a feelings of oneness. When the parts of a work come together, the work has unity. Each part fills in with the others to create a single idea, quality, or a whole design.
Nakapatay pala yung mic ko. Okay, so again, it creates an arrangement of elements to create a feeling of oneness. So, in this picture, what is the feeling of oneness? Okay, so it could be the stretched arm, and it could be a tail of the head, and it could be the flow of their dresses. So it goes all the way through. So there is a feeling of unity. Okay. So did you understand ba?
Opo, ma'am.
Yes.
Opo,
Sure,
ma'am.
Yes po, ma'am.
sure kayo Mamaya may recitation tayo. Okay. So so when you look out the work of art, look at the contrast, look at the unity. So this time you have an idea how to look at the certain work of art. Okay. Now let's move to balance. So please read.
Ma'am.
Okay,
Hello.
so Miss Catherine.
Balance is an artwork is the placement of all the elements of the composition so that their visual weight seem evenly distributed. It is the composition of the artwork stable.
Okay, so I will give you the different example of balance. So there are okay, there are a formal balance or symmetrical balance, informal balance or asymmetrical balance, and radial balance. So what is the formal balance? So please read. Anyone?
Ma'am,
Okay, so Miss Diaz.
formal balance or symmetrical balance is a type of balance in which the contents on either side of center line exactly the same. One side would mirror the other.
Okay, so thank you, Miss Diaz. So there is a symmetry look of there is symmetry. Okay, so look at this example. Okay, symmetry are equal in balance. Yan, so equal ba sila? Equal ba sila?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes po.
Okay, so next is the informal balance. Please read.
Ako na lang po, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. James Gerard. Okay.
Informal balance or asymmetrical balance is a type of balance in which two sides of an artwork are not exactly alike, yet still appears pleasantly even.
Okay, so thank you, Miss James. For example, this one. There is the chess characters. There are four pawn, okay, whatever. And there is a king character. Though it has a balance, though it is asymmetrical, but usually it has a visual balance because the one is tall, the other is small, but there are many. Okay, naintindihan?
Opo.
Okay, so it's that the asymmetric balance. Okay. So next is the radial balance.
Ako
So
na
what's
lang
the
po, ma'am.
okay, Christian.
Radial balance occurs when all the elements in the composition radiate outward from the center or toward it.
Okay, so thank you, Christian. So just like this, the example in this picture. Okay, so yan, ganyan yung radial balance. And then we have emphasis. Okay, so wants to read.
Ma'am,
Okay, so Miss Audrey.
emphasis is the principle of art concerned with making an element or object in a work stand out.
Okay, so thank you. Take for example in this picture. So there is some image give emphasis. It is through highlighting the color, editing the rest of image in black and white. Yet the emphasis is on the colored objects, just like the flower as well. Then isa pang example, 'di ba pag sino dito yung nagpo-photography? Sino dito yung yung mahilig sa ano, sa picture, mag-edit ng mga picture.
Opo.
Okay, so Timothy, 'di ba? Kapag ka nag-edit ka ng picture, ini-emphasize mo yung pinaka-subject, tama ba? Okay, 'di ba? Minsan bino-blurred yung yung background para ma-emphasize yung pinaka-subject, para mag-stand out siya. Okay, so
Opo.
okay, so naintindihan ba?
Apo, ma'am.
Yes.
Sure. Sure kayo.
Yes po.
Yes po,
Yes
ma'am.
po, ma'am.
Sure yan ha. Okay, so now let's have a variety. So please read.
Ako
Ma'am,
na lang.
variety is the principle
Sige.
of is the principle of art concerned with combining different art elements like colors, lines, shapes, and texture to increase visual interest. Ma'am, nakamute po yata kayo.
Okay, so sorry. Okay, so thank you to both of you. So like colors, lines, shapes, and texture to increase visual interest because everything in is in one place. So that's variety. Okay. Okay, and we have the movement. So please read.
Ako na lang po, ma'am.
Okay, so Miss
Move,
Pamela.
movement is the principle of art used to create the look and feel of action and to guide the viewer's eyes throughout a work of art. Artists create movements through a careful blending of elements such as line and shape.
Okay, so thank you, Miss Pamela. So when it's just like moving up, it has movement. So like in this picture. So another example is I'm not sure kung flip card ba yung tawag doon. Yung yung Alam niyo ba yung flip card? Okay. Hello?
Opo, ma'am.
Alam niyo, flip card ba yung tawag doon? Baka mali ako. Mukha akong tanga dito. Okay, so, yung merong parang ano, yung nagsusulat yung may drawing kayong object, then pagka-flip mo, magkakaroon ng illusion na magmo-move. Okay, yun. Okay, so next, we have, uh, so we also have pattern. So please read.
Opo, ma'am.
Anyone? Okay, so Mr. Timothy.
It is a design in which lines, shapes, forms, or colors are repeated. Patterns can be regular or irregular.
Okay, uh, so here is the example. You can see immediately your eyes drawn into the certain pattern. Okay, so like what you see in this picture on your screen. So that is an example of pattern. Okay, so another example, it is this picture image of church. What pattern can you find? Anyone? Anyone?
Hello po,
Okay,
ma'am.
so Miss Catherine.
Sa ano po, ma'am, yung bandang windows po niya. Ayan po, meron pong patterns na square and circle.
Okay, so very good. So very good, Miss Catherine. So another, meron pa yan. Another. Hello? Okay. So wala na kayong nakikita?
Ma'am, pwede pa ulit ng question? Sorry.
Okay, so what pattern can you find in this image? Ay, sorry. Ayan na. Ayan na. Mas surprise dapat yun eh. Okay na. Okay na. So, yan. Okay, so this is the pattern that you see in this picture image of the church. Okay, so this arc is also the pattern. Okay, so there's a lot of pattern that you may see in this image. Okay, and then so the repeated pattern has three themes. So we also have uh, okay, okay. So read theme. So please read. Anyone?
Ako na lang po, ma'am.
Anyone?
Rhythm is the regular repetition of lines, shapes, colors, and other art of elements. The repetition of any art element over and over forms a pattern.
Okay, so thank you, Miss Annalyn. So the rhythm is a repeated pattern. So next, we have the okay, wait lang. Okay, so like what I said earlier, the rhythm is a repeated pattern, like what you see in this image. Okay, so next we have the harmony. So please read.
Ako na lang po.
So Miss
Harmony is the
Grace.
principle of art concerned with combining related art elements to create a pleasing appearance.
Okay. So thank you, Miss Grace. So it has to be a pleasing appearance. So in this is there harmony? So in short, it is not extremely attractive in their art pattern on the right place. Okay. So now we have the proportion. So please read.
Ako na lang po, ma'am.
Okay. So Miss Princess Diane, sige, go ahead.
Proportion deals with the proper relation between two objects or parts. The parts of a work should relate to the other parts as well as to the
Ma'am, ako na
proper
lang.
composition.
Okay, so if you look at the proportion in this figure, appear the fish and the fisherman. It is a proper proportion visually or without realistic point of view. It is not a right proportion. But then again, maybe that there's an artistic value for this that so for this that's why the artist created this in such that way. But then again, the proportion should be considered as well in form of art. Okay? Naintindihan nyo ba?
Yes po.
Hello? Okay,
Yes
so
po.
thank you. Okay, so that's the end of our discussion. So do you understand our lesson?
Yes po.
Yes po,
Yes po.
ma'am.
Okay, so let's move to the recitation. Ito na yung pinakahihintay nyo. Sure kayo ha, naintindihan nyo ha. Okay. So,
Opo.
Miss Catherine,
Yes po.
okay, nalista, ito na, dito ko na maglilista, okay? Okay, so, what are the, if you really understand the lesson, so what are the 7 elements of art? So, give me one.
Ma'am, ako
Anyone?
po.
May ako po, ma'am.
Ma'am Rachel po.
Okay. Miss Rachel, go ahead. Give me one.
Lines po. Lines.
Okay, line. Okay.
Ma'am Grace po.
Grace.
Shape po, ma'am. Shape po.
Okay, shape. So very good, Miss Rachel and Miss Grace. So another.
Ma'am.
Jessica. Color.
Okay, isa-isa lang. Okay, so Miss, sino yan? Si Miss Jessica? Ano yung sagot mo?
Colors po.
Okay, colors. And
Ma'am,
then
ako po.
Si Vince.
Ako
Vince
po.
ba pangalan? Vince? Sumagot ka ba kanina? Hello? Okay. Miss Santos? Ano yung sagot mo kanina?
Colors po.
Okay, so Miss Color. Then, very good.
Ako po.
Then, Julie.
Texture po.
Okay, so texture. Ay. Okay, so next.
Mama ko
Ano
po.
pa? Christian.
Space po.
Okay, so very good. So nakakailan na tayo? So we have the lines, the color, the texture, what else?
Ako po,
The
ma'am.
okay, so
Ako, ma'am.
okay.
Value po.
Okay. Yes, we have a value. Okay.
Form po.
Yes, very good, Charles. We have a form. Okay. The next, who can give an example of line? Anyone?
Straight line po.
What? Grace.
Horizontal.
Straight line, ma'am.
Okay.
Vertical.
Ma'am,
Diagonal.
curve line.
Diagonal.
Okay. Isa-isa lang po tayo.
Curve line po.
Okay.
Ako.
So,
Ito po
baka
yung sasagot po. Eh,
si Miss
nagsasabay-sabay po kasi.
Yung
Isa-isa
straight,
lang.
ma'am po. Straight
Okay.
line po, ma'am.
She said straight lines. So, who
Ma'am
else?
Rachel po.
Okay.
Diagonal po.
Okay.
Ma'am Vince po.
Ma'am
Ma'am
Abiner.
Vince po.
Okay. Vince, ano yung sagot mo?
Curve line po.
Okay. Curve.
Ma'am Zenilyn.
Seneline.
Vertical.
Ma'am Diaz po.
Okay. Then, Miss Diaz.
Horizontal line.
Okay. So, very good. And, what is the difference between shape and form? Okay. Na.
Ma'am Rachel po.
Okay, so Rachel.
Ma'am, dun po sa shape, dun po yung two-dimensional figure po. Then sa form po, three-dimensional.
Okay. So, very good, Miss Rachel. And another answer.
Ma'am, a binary po.
Okay, so Miss.
A binary po.
Okay, okay, go ahead.
Ma'am, yung shape po, flat po. True lines po, textures, colors, and other shapes po like triangles, circles, and square po. Yung form naman po, pwede po siyang i-refer sa three-dimensional composition po or object within a three-dimensional composition. Yun lang po.
Yes, yes, very good, exactly. So, the shape is it is like what said ani sinabi mo kanina yung shape. It is a precise, and then the form is yung mga three-dimensional. Okay. The next, can you give me a five tonal value or five anatomy of of shading in value? Okay. Can give me the five tonal value or five
Ma'am
anatomy of.
Christian po.
Okay, so Mr. Chris.
Ano po? Highlight, midtone, core shadow, reflected highlight, tsaka po cast shadow.
Okay, so very good, Mr. Christian. So we have highlight, uh, the 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 core shadow, the cast shadow, the reflective. Okay, so very good. And then next, what are the three kinds of texture?
Ma'am.
Ako po, ma'am. Ay, ma'am.
Okay, so
Ako po, ma'am.
okay, Miss Christine.
Steam. Apa.
Apo.
Textile, artificial, and visual texture.
Okay, so very good, Miss Catherine. Then, what are the principles of art? So, there are seven principles of art. So, please, please give me one.
Ma'am
Ma'am,
Rachel
ako
po.
po. Maluga po.
Garcia po.
Okay,
Santos po.
so Miss
Daos po.
Rachel.
Ma'am, po? Balance.
Okay, yes, balance.
Galuga po.
Ma'am, ako po.
Miss,
Unit,
Miss,
unity,
Miss
ma'am.
Unity. Okay, very good.
Ma'am,
Love
ako
you.
po. Ma'am
Ma'am
Garcia po.
Henry.
Ma'am, ako po.
Okay, so
Ma'am
Miss
Mendoza po.
Pattern.
De la Cruz po. Okay, Karen.
isa lang guys. Okay.
Binary po.
Razel
Okay.
po.
Palahe
O
po,
sige,
ma'am. Mendoza po.
Miss Hazel.
Variety po.
Okay, so we have variety. Then next,
Ma'am
Lazaro
Zenith.
po.
Garcia po, ma'am.
Pamela po, ma'am.
Jeneline.
Pattern, ma'am.
Okay, so we have pattern. Yes.
Mendoza po. Akay po.
Ma'am Diaz po.
A binary
Lazaro
po.
Okay.
po.
Okay. Next, next, what else?
A binary po.
Santos po.
Gonzalvo po.
Habiner, Habiner.
Rhythm po.
Okay, so reading, yes. Next,
Mendoza.
Lazaro po.
Mendoza.
Movement po.
Yes, we have a movement. Very
Daos
good.
po.
Oh,
Lazaro
Miss
po.
Daos. Daos.
Emphasis po.
What?
Emphasis.
Gonzalvo po.
Emphasis. So, Miss Barrientos said, wait, proportion. Okay. Yes, Jerome. Contrast. Okay, yes. So, very good ah. Naintindihan nyo nga. Okay. So, what are the different types of balance?
Ma'am, ako po.
Okay, Miss
Ma'am Diaz
Santos.
po.
Miss,
Um,
Miss Santos muna. Sige.
for, formal balance, informal balance, and radical balance.
Okay, so very good, Miss Santos. Okay, so um, uh, very good, guys. So I think you understand our discussion for today. So now let's have an activity. Okay. Okay, so these are the mechanics of di ba may pinahanda ako sa inyo na pang artwork? Nabasa niyo ba sa GC?
Yes,
Apo. Okay, so very good ah. Okay, so the instruction is in a short bond paper, make an artwork applying the elements of art and express your feeling about doing it. The leader should be present the artwork and tell what and why did they draw it. You have 10 minutes for making it. So who's the leader? Okay, wait lang. So group 1, sino leader nyo? So, hello, narinig niyo ako?
yes po, ma'am.
Okay. So, magkakagrupo dito sa group 1 is Abenir, Achay, Angeles, Aquino, Arafiles, Atilio, Barrientos, Bondok, Burgos, and Buslon. Okay. Sino leader niyo group 1? Hello? Sino leader sa group 1?
Hello po. Mark Carlo daw.
Sino?
Si Mark Carlo Bondok na lang po.
Okay, si Carlo Bondok. And then, sa group 2, wait lang. Okay,
Teacher
so,
Shai.
yes po, ma'am.
Hi, I think it's already time.
Time na po
Is
ba?
it okay? Yes. Is it okay if they will do it asynchronously sa kanilang Google Classroom and then they will just present it to you their outputs?
Okay, ma'am, it's okay.
Okay, so you proceed with their assignment na lang po. Okay lang ba, Teacher Shai?
Okay lang.
Okay,
Okay lang.
sige. Okay. So, kindly tell them their assignments and mag-uusap pa kasi kami regarding sa midterm next week. Okay?
Okay po.
Okay.
Okay, so this is your assignment. So make a short jingle song about the elements and principle of art. Video yourself while singing the jingle song you made. The song must be 2 minutes. You may watch or you may search or watch on YouTube for your reference. So the deadline is on after your midterm exam. Okay. So that's all for today, class. So thank you.
Thank you
Hello.
po.
Thank you po,
Okay.
ma'am.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you
you
po,
po,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Po,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you po.
Thank you. Okay, pwede na kayo mag-leave. Bye-bye.
Teka lang.
Ay,
Next week, guys, don't forget, it's their midterm examination. So we will do it asynchronously. Synchronously, but I will not ask you to have a Google Meet. Okay? So, sa Google Classroom ko na lang ilalagay. Class manager and the rest of the class, what time po tayo mag-exam next week? What time po nyo gusto?
Ma'am, pwede time na lang po namin.
Ha?
11 to 12 po.
With
Sa time po namin.
10 o'clock or 10:30? Sige, pag-usapan niyo na lang yan ha. Basta dun sa within our time, we have 3 hours. The exam is 1 hour and 30 minutes to do. So, class manager, paki-send na lang po sa akin. Okay?
Okay po,
I'm
ma'am.
sure you
Okay po, ma'am.
will provide the rubrics for the jingle song. So, ipopost na lang ni Ma'am Shai sa inyong Google Classroom. Yun. Para mas madali kayo magka-intindihan. Okay? So, regarding with the different activities presented by Ma'am Shai, she'll be the one who will grade it. So, siya pong kakausapin niyo regarding sa activities. Okay? So, goodbye everyone.
Ma'am,
Except
excuse
from
po.
Ma'am Shai. Yes, Ma'am
Yes.
Shai?
Goodbye. Okay.
Ma'am,
Ma'am Shai, dito ka muna.
ma'am, may tanong lang po.
Yes po. What's your question?
Yung ano po yung mga scope po?
Coverage? All of the PowerPoint presentations na nasa Google Classroom nyo, at saka yung ginawa, discussion nyo with Ma'am Michelle last time, and of course, kasama yung discussion ni Ma'am Shai. So, medyo maraming terminologies yon. All in all, we'll have 100 items. Ano lang siya, more on multiple choice and true or false. So wala siyang identification. We'll be using the Google Forms to accomplish our examination.
Okay po. Thank you po.
Okay,
Thank you
so
po, ma'am.
paki-message na lang po
Thank you
ako
po,
kung ano
ma'am.
po. Okay, no problem. Goodbye everyone. Have a happy lunch.
Thank you po.
Thank you
Thank you
po.
po, ma'am. Love you po.
Thank you po, ma'am.